We are all guilty of procrastinating and wasting time when we know we should be doing something productive, but for whatever reason, we're scrolling on social media, we're doing all the things that we know are not going to get the job done, and I'm here to help you be more productive. So I'm going to share some tips. These are some of the things that I do when I'm trying to get out of the habit of wasting time and how to get back on track with being more productive so that I can get things done that I've been putting off for some time, or I could just stay focused on the thing that I'm supposed to be doing at that very moment. So the very first thing that I want to suggest that you do if you find yourself wasting time during the day is to identify where you are wasting your time. So I find that for me, I'm typically scrolling on social media. We are all guilty of it, especially if you get on TikTok. TikTok will drain hours of your day. You will get on the app thinking that you're going to be on there for like 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden you've been on there for 4 hours. I don't know how it happens, but it just happens. But you need to identify where you are wasting your time, and then you need to kind of come up with a plan of action. Another area you may be wasting time is watching YouTube videos. I know YouTube for me is like TV, so I will binge watch a ton of different videos on YouTube, and then next thing you know, the day is gone and I ain't got nothing done. Or maybe you're a TV show watcher or a movie watcher. Whatever the case, you need to identify where a lot of your time is going and go ahead and start to cut that out. The best way to cut that out is to create an actual routine and schedule for yourself. So I find that I have to actually schedule out when I'm going to try to be the most productive based on when I have the most energy, and also plan out my day in advance. And I'm gonna actually do a whole nother video on like time blocking and things like that. But for now, we're just gonna keep it simple with create a routine that you can start to follow, so that way you know when you could be on social media or when you could be kind of doing the other things versus when you are going to be actually being productive. Here's another good tip that I use now, and I live by this tip right here. Put your phone on do not disturb. I used to get flooded with spam callers and random people calling me and wanting to talk during the day because I'm full-time in my business. And for some reason, when you're full-time in your business, people just assume you got time to talk. And so I found that it was more helpful when I put my phone on do not disturb, so that way I could be less distracted and I wouldn't even get notifications for like social media or anything that will kind of distract me from what I am doing. So on my phone, I can actually schedule when I want do not disturb to kick in. So during business hours, it automatically schedules my phone to be on do not disturb. I have an hour break in between around like 3 o'clock. Disclaimer, they are about to start cutting grass outside and I'm not redoing this video, okay? So we just gonna have to get through this noise. I hope you guys don't hear it, but I hear it and I see it. Anyways, the show must go on because we're gonna be productive today. I have on my phone where it is automatically scheduled to set when my do not disturb turns on and when it goes off. I have like an hour lunch break or like break in between my work shift, and then it goes off automatically at around 6:30. Do this for yourself because I'm telling you, if you don't see it, it's out of sight, out of mind, and that way you won't be constantly checking emails and checking text messages and answering phone calls. I already told everybody that is close to me that I feel might call. I told them that if it's an emergency, call twice and it'll come through. But for everybody else, it don't even show me when they've called until my phone goes off of do not disturb. Another quick tip is to remove apps that will cause you to procrastinate or get distracted. So right now I'm on a social media detox. I've been on it for about 6 days now, 6 or 7 days, give or take. And so I removed all of the social media apps off of my phone, everything gone. And I find that since doing that, I have been so much more productive with actually getting things done, actually forcing myself to figure out how can I be productive. I've eliminated the distractions outside of YouTube. YouTube's still on my phone. We playing around with whether I want to delete that from my phone too, because your girl got an addiction to YouTube. But that's a whole nother video for another day. But for the most part, I've replaced that with doing something productive. So maybe if you just by default keep clicking on the social media apps, because that's what I was doing, maybe you need to get rid of them and only utilize them when you are on desktop. Especially if you're a business owner, I know for us, we kind of feel obligated to be on these social media platforms and be able to engage with our audience and respond to comments. But sometimes you have to set a boundary and be like, you know what? I'm going to take this off of my phone because I have a problem with just clicking on it out of boredom until you can kind of get it under wraps, and then you can kind of add it back if you feel the need to. But don't feel like you got to have an app on your phone just because you're a business owner. Another part of setting your routine and setting the schedule is make sure that you set breaks for yourself. So I kind of mentioned my break in between this, but I find that if you try to go all the way through your entire day and don't take any breaks, you're going to get distracted. Your brain going to be like, look now, I need a break. So I don't know how frequent you would like to take your break. I know some people do like an hour block of work time and then they take like a 30-minute break or a 15-minute break. Or maybe you do 4 hours of work time and then take a break and then do another 4 hours of work time. Whatever works for you, I would recommend you try something first and then see how that works and then kind of adjust it to what works best for you. The next thing I want to talk about in reference to getting more productive is be realistic with the things that you put on your list of things to do. So if you have like 10 different things that you are thinking you're going to do for that day or for each day, and you are bombarding your to-do list with things that are taking multiple hours to complete, you're not being realistic with the amount of work that you're going to be able to get done that day. And you may even overwhelm your brain into the point where you don't even want to do any of it. So what I try to do is have 3 main tasks that I know is going to probably take me a few hours to do, but I also have a focus for the day. So with me having a focus for the day, I'm going to use this for an example with content creation. So with YouTube, I have a workflow where, for example, on Wednesdays, that's my content day where I'm actually sitting down, hitting record, doing my thumbnails, anything content related where I am actually recording content. That's what I do on my content days. I try my best not to edit on my content days because I have a separate day where I do post-production work. So that's whether it's thumbnails, doing my editing for my videos, exporting everything, uploading it to YouTube, scheduling everything out. I have those 2 things separately because it requires a different capacity of your brain to kind of execute on those 2 different things. And I find that I get overwhelmed when I'm having to do recording and then go right into editing and then the thumbnail, and then it just becomes a lot. So I try to separate my big tasks. Also, if I have a major project that I'm working on, so like if I'm creating a course or a program or something that's going to require a lot of my mental capacity, I have project days where that's the only thing that I'm working on. I'm working on that specific project, so that way I don't have to worry about creating content. I don't have to worry about post-production work. I don't have to worry about any of those things for that day. My main focus is pushing the needle forward in that project, and so my brain could kind of understand that that's all we're really going to be focusing on for that day. You also want to keep in mind how long each task will take. So you'll have some mini tasks, and then you'll have some tasks that you know is going to take a couple of hours, and then you may underestimate the length of time that it takes for you to complete that specific task. So once you start getting into a routine and you start realizing, like for example, editing a video, if I have 3 videos to edit, I know that's probably all I'm gonna be able to do that day when it comes to productivity. I may be able to get a thumbnail designed here and there, but for the most part, I'm probably not going to get that much more done because it takes me hours to edit and export and schedule out a video. So I'm not going to schedule to do something else that takes me additional hours to do as well because it's not realistic. And I want to wrap this video up with this. Don't try to overextend yourself and give yourself grace at the beginning. I find that having 3 things to try to be productive in that day, if I get those 3 things done, like those major tasks, that I am satisfied with my day. If I get more done, that's great. If I don't, then I don't beat myself up. But the goal is to stop wasting time and to get it done and be more productive in your business. So I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. If you have any other additional video ideas that you would like me to create in reference to being more productive in your business, drop it in the comment section below. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.